much for choosing the African way to wake up. So, when we sat in the beginning of the month with Unombuso, we said, listen, we know we have this feature called Sundays Are for Legends, right? But it's the month of love, dude. Why don't we have a Sundays Are for Lovers, where we profile some really legendary couples? And when I say legendary, I mean we can't look at the conventional way of doing things. Let's look at what relationships look like in this day and age, right? And the different dynamics that they hold. Because I feel like this is what's really happening in our homes. And, it's, for me, it's interesting to see such a multicultural, multi-spiritual, home coming together. We are going to be talking to the Dyers, a couple whose journey reflects the complexity of modern love. As a Gogo and Ngkulu, they have Ngkulu, rather. Is that how you say it? Ngkulu, yes. They have navigated spiritual calling, cultural difference, religious differences, and the realities of choosing partnership every single day. Their story includes an attempt at polygamy, a chapter that did not work out, but one that offered deep lessons about honesty, boundaries, and redefining love. Despite the challenges, they continue to work together, grow together, and show up spiritually for one another. The Dyers are in the house.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Nice intro.
I'm doing good.
Listen, I want to get into the tea, because when I saw polygamy, I was like, oh, do we need 3 chairs or just 2? But before we get into the tea, I want to know where you guys met. I'm a huge fan of, how we met. This is how we met. I was just walking by, or whatever the case is. Please tell us how you guys met.
So, we met at Umkiti. I was introduced to her, Ngkulu Makosi by a friend of mine. I didn't take her numbers at the time. So I just hit her up on social media, slid into that DMs,
Wow.
Yeah.
She gave you a bit of a side eye when you said you didn't take her numbers. Is that bringing back memories?
Yeah. Because I was like, okay, he's going to, and then he didn't. I'm like, all right.
You missed the chance.
Okay.
So when he slid in, I mean, you're like, okay, here's this guy. Now he's doing it this way. What is your response to that?
Well, the first thing I was like, okay, let me look at your profile. Let me see what you're about, Let me see if my spirit connects with yours, or if we have any connection before I talk to you. So I looked through his videos, and I was like, okay, hello, Ngkulu, how are you?
You're not too bad.
You're not too bad.
So
it was the fastest connection she made in her life, though. I mean, that was less than a minute of browsing the profile.
Oh, that's really sweet. So when you guys started dating, I mean, it became obvious that you both have a calling. You both follow the similar spiritual paths. How was it like navigating that?
Oof. You're starting to
So she says she's always had a problem interacting with sangomas, I always knew that it would have to be a sangoma, the partner that I choose or that I decide to marry.
Yeah.
For various reasons. I mean, trying to explain myself every day is not going to be easy. I think I had been through so many failed relationships, and I basically knew what I wanted and what was going to work for me or not, at that time. So I think my experience from failure made me know, okay, this is what I'd be looking for.
So when you decided then that, okay, this is my wife, I know that it's not necessarily a decision you make alone. I know that you do have to, consult the gang.
Yeah.
The gang, the spiritual gang, What does that look like from a spiritual context? Because I know that if the average man wants to get married, he just says, okay, let's go to the jewelry store, pick out a cute ring, call it a day. But, with your calling, it's a little bit different, because they also have to kind of agree that she is your wife.
Yeah. So when it comes to the different ways in which people consult or the ways they receive their messages, I feel for me a lot of it works with feeling than voice. And I trust my feeling. I do act very nonchalant about it most of the time. But I trust my feeling, and I just knew it. You know, because the first interaction was very brief, you know. But I knew.
Wow. Girl, what do you bath with? The man saw you and said he knew.
All I can say is that if you're a female, guys, you never use clear water. You don't use clear water. Make
Your
it
water can
pink.
be clear.
Make it purple. Make it blue.
I'm obsessed with that because I think we've social media has taken away the magic of love at first sight. I believe, and I think, yeah. So did you pop the question? Did you send the letter? What is that process like?
Okay, wait. Let's first go to this love at first sight thing, right? Why has social media taken that away? Why do you feel that way?
Because they've called it delusion. I mean, I think social media has taken away the magic of relationships, in my opinion. I think and I'm not talking about the sliding in DMs part. No. I'm talking about navigating relationships, not dating. When I think about some of the standards that are there publicly now, they don't exist in relationships. It's really a big partnership, you know, and I feel like it's taken away the magic of it. The magic of seasons, you know, when I'm up and, you know, when a woman is more successful than the man, then, you know, they kind of take that away from her to say, oh, now she wears the pants. And sometimes it's just the magic of a season I'm going through, you know. I feel like that's what social media is doing. It's taking away the magic. Yeah.
so I mean, this is going to be I'm sure we'll get to it, a broader thing of love, right? But yeah, I agree to disagree for now.
Okay.
Sorry, your question again.
I was asking about you know, the dynamic of asking her to be your wife. I know that in the Western world you go on one knee and, you know, but with us we have to send novels declaring intentions, you know, calling on uncles. So what is that process like for you?
So the thing is, what a lot of people don't understand, and obviously it's for a lack of broader knowledge. Firstly, I'm Arab. I'm of Arab descent, right? And I always say to people, it's very difficult to separate the Arab culture from African tradition. There are so many similarities. Even the process of marriage wasn't that tedious for me because I understood it. It is something that would not be far away from my culture either.
Sorry, my facial expression is just pure fascination, by the way. Like what you just said fascinates me because that's like the opposite sides of the plane. I mean, Africa's here, you know, I'd say Dubai, but like the Arabic countries are kind of that side on a completely different continents. It's like, wait, what?
But that's not true.
Okay.
That's not true. I mean, probably 60% of the Arab world sits in Africa. You've got Egypt, you've got Morocco, you've got Algeria, and then you've got West African countries, Mauritania, Central Africa, Chad. They all speak Arabic, and the culture's been very integrated for centuries.
But I don't think that's obvious knowledge, though. I will be very honest. I mean, I've been on this platform for like 4 years now, so I'm quite familiar with like African, like, not, but I don't think that's something obvious. I think there's a beauty in that, and us actually not knowing how deeply ingrained those two cultures can come together, you know. So getting married, what does that look like for Makhosi, for a couple that is both spiritually enriched?
I'll let her explain because it was,
it's very challenging. But there's there's beauty in it, you know, especially when it comes to him, because it was two cultures coming together at the same time, and then it was two ancestors coming together at the same time. It was almost like we can clearly see how our ancestors interacted back in those days when we finally came together, you know, seeing Isintu, and then now we're seeing this Arabic culture, you know, Sibizi, we are wearing uplalo, and then they have their own garments, you know. It was it was quite an experience. It was a bit challenging at first because understanding another person's spirituality is challenging, and especially if you are also a person who is spiritual yourself, you know. When it comes to him, because I always say to him, you were given to me. Oof. That's what I always say, you were given, because I don't need to, you know, go into deep into thought when I have to think of what is worrying him, what is wrong with him today. It easily comes to me like, oh, okay, this is what is happening. And I can easily just, when he walks into the door, I'll say, oh, you had a bad day today. He's like, yeah, no, at work it was just hectic. I'm like, yeah, I can sense it, eh? It's like, yeah. So it has its difficulties, especially when you don't want to know some of the things that
they're exposing.
he's doing mentally. Maybe he's thinking about, and you're like, boy, don't try me.
I'm gonna guess that this is relating to the attempt at polygamy, right? Where did that attempt come from? Who did that attempt come from? Because I also don't want to make an assumption.
So the polygamy thing happened before I met Makosi.
Oh.
Yeah. I toyed with the idea of bringing Makosi into that situation.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to need a glass of something that I left at home, because this is getting interesting.
Yeah, it's cut.
Yeah.
So when you guys met, when you were going through social media, I'm guessing you weren't necessarily public with, you know, yeah. So how did we get to the attempt not attempting?
I was honest from the beginning.
Beautiful.
The thing is, I think when I met Makosi, there was already so much of conflict happening on the other side that for 6 months or so I was alone. But yeah, I think it was a time in my life where I attempted or went into it with the right intention, but did it the wrong way. You know,
it takes a lot for a man to say that, by the way. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
Just give yourself a bit of credit there.
Sure, thanks. And I guess I wasn't strong enough. I'm not cut out for that life. No.
But it's you know, I think you guys, I mean, maybe marriages sometimes, you know, you guys are now familiar with each other. You guys have declared such a deep love for each other, and the things that you say about each other. You say he was given to me.
Yes.
You literally said, I knew when I met her. Like, do you understand the love letter that you guys keep giving each other? And it's so subtle, but it's like a jab here, then a jab here. Do you realize things like that? Or is it because, you know, marriage, you wake up with him, go to sleep with him, it's, you know?
I think the key is, on the onset, someone may say that they're spiritual, right? They may use the term that, okay, you're a sangoma, so then you must be spiritual. But spirituality exists beyond the rituals and beyond the abilities and beyond mixing the best muti. That is one aspect of it. Spirituality exists in the realm of knowing yourself and taking your journey inward, not wearing all the whatever you wear so that the world can see that you're a sangoma. No.
Yeah.
And once you've taken that journey inward and started that journey of dealing with those scars, I guess that's where the success lies in relationships, and that goes for any relationship, whether it's at work, whether it's with finance, whether it's with you know. And yes, you're living a human experience, so you're gonna have tough times, you know, especially when you're dealing with those scars. But that's where it exists, I believe. And so in your relationships, I guess you become more vulnerable. You know, a lot of people see vulnerability as a weakness, but it's an absolute strength. And so when you make yourself more vulnerable, you start feeling and tasting the sweetness of what it should be, I suppose.
That's a very beautiful sentiment there. So what are we looking forward to in our marriage, year of the fire horse? What are we expecting for this year? You know, have you guys set your intentions for the year for your marriage? What are you looking forward to?
I think for this year it is I think it's settling in, you know, because the first year there was a lot happening, you know, in our first year of marriage. We just had a little bundle of joy, and so it's just settling in together and trying to create this good atmosphere for the three of us, you know. So I think that will be our main aim for this year, and trying to balance spirituality with our day jobs, and trying to communicate more when it comes to clients, you know. Just that balance of life, and having that full pattern flow through us, and not us having to kind of like barge in about life to be like, okay, yeah, we have to do this, we gotta do this. I think spiritual balance is what we're working on this year.
Did the dynamic shift when Upando joined the club?
No. No, it didn't at all.
Yeah.
I think we always look at her and we're like, you are a storm in our lives. And I think the reason why is because we say she is our manager, you know, she manages us, so we are like the co-workers and she's the boss. So we're always looking at each other like, hey, what did the boss say?
That is so sweet.
You know, so.
This is so beautiful. I'm like, guys, I'm such a lover girl. Where love is, I'm like, send me there. And you know, Mr. Dyer, you said you disagreed with me. You agreed to disagree with me about social media killing the magic of love. Why was that?
Look, the thing is, I have a different perspective of love and what it is, right? Because there's such a gray area in the understanding of it. You know it when you feel it, right? But I don't believe that it's a goal. You know, for me it's a realization. So if you go out there trying to search for what you believe love is, unfortunately, I don't think that you're gonna find it, right? And you're gonna keep chasing it. So whether it's on social media, whether it's at a radio station, whether it's at a restaurant, wherever it is, it might be infatuation at first sight. I don't believe it's love at first sight.
That makes sense. I still do hold the belief of what social media does in the negative sense that, you know, when you have a love story like yours, when you have a love story like, I was thinking about Ubuntle, she was on, you know, talking about how, you know, the different dynamics and financial dynamics, and that's what's coming up a lot now. And people take away the magic of a woman being able to do things for her man, and a man being able to do things for the woman. And I think a lot of us, I think they also kind of perpetuate the narrative of a lot of us are painting pictures of our relationship that they're these perfect things, whereas in that moment, yes, we were happy. It's, you know,
I agree.
Yeah.
In the sense of the lie.
Yes.
The facade.
Yes. So
definitely.
What would you guys advise in terms of modern love? Because it is different. You know, the way our parents loved and versus the way we are loving is very different. What would you advise, you know, someone who is probably sitting there thinking, I think this is my wife, or, you know, a woman there saying, I think this is my husband, or I think, or vice versa, and you know, accommodating all likeness. But what would you advise?
So I think I go back to saying, my key advice is, first learn to love yourself. First understand yourself. Because the delusions of grandeur that you think you have in your head is not the reality of what it is, especially in a partnership, a marriage. So once you learn to love yourself, you don't allow the reliance of love to be on somebody else.
Clock it.
And so when you also speak to me about the goals for the year, and it's very difficult when people ask me that type of question. It's a very difficult one for me to answer, because I like to try to live my life in the moment, you know, take it moment by moment. Not to say that I'm not huge on manifestation, but manifestation does require you to be grateful in the now for what is around you and what you have. In the sense that social media builds those delusions, yes, I'm with you 1000% on that, because it helps to fashion an idea of what it must be, you know, like these million roses with money in it and all of those kinds of things. It definitely isn't that. Life,
yeah, real. And Mama Kose,
Yes.
what advice do you have for future wives that are like, hey, one day?
What am I gonna say? I'll say, firstly, manifesting utando, love, or a marriage, or you being a happy wife is never a wrong thing, you know. And I'm very hopeful that many people will be introduced or will be led into happy marriages. And I would like to use the key word led, because I believe that a marriage is a gift that is given. It is a journey that a specific person is chosen to walk, right? So I hope that people can lean into themselves, because we as spiritual people, we like to say that we have someone or a spirit that is called Istunywa, which is called the guide. I would like people to lean into Istunywa that they have, because each and everybody has Istunywa. It's just that to some people it shows itself more and it wants to do more, but we all have Istunywa, we all have guides. So lean into your guides and lean into them to a total like completely, to a point where you feel nothingness, to be like, plan my journey for me. This is what I'm manifesting for my life. This is who I would like to have, as if you are praying about it. This is the man of my dreams. This is how I see him coming in. This is how I see him treating me.
Yes.
This is how I want him to come and control my household. This is the man that is the head of my house. You see, so if you lean into that spiritual person that guides you each and every day, it will set itself into your path in terms of your journey of life. You see what I mean? So I feel like many people mistaken that, or they discard that factor to a point where they think that I will find that person. No, you will not. They will find that person. So as soon as we can separate those two things, I think everybody will have that chance to be in a happy marriage. Yes.
Yeah, so it's a golden rule of manifestation, right? Know exactly what you want and be descriptive in what you want, right up until how she or he should smell.
This is honestly such a, I think also, I'm sure people can feel just your energy, like the energy that you guys perpetuate, and It's so beautiful. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. I
Thank you for having us.
You have been such a light, and I really enjoyed this conversation. And I think it is important to manifest, especially things like marriage, because that's the family you choose, man.
Yeah,
and so choose wisely. That's the person who has to guide you through either the death of your parents or loss, grief. The good stuff is easy, but the bad stuff, that's when you really see the person's character coming out. So I really appreciate you both joining us today, and I pray for a successful marriage, really.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It is 8:57 Central African time. I'm going to take a short break.
Stone boy.